Hare Krishna, everybody. Chalo. So 3-7, we will see what we do. Oh, 5 every Wednesday. We can do few days afternoon. Then I am free. You everybody can have darshan. This is Jagannatha Prasada. This comes like this from Jagannath Guru. Nama Vaishnapadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Kauravan Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Ashata Satai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So our today topic is who are we? These presentations, Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Sarasate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashat Deshataharini Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna. Now, today's topic is how do we say we are not the body? Some of you old students have seen it. You want to see it again. Some new students, these are bridge classes. I think people like very much. The build for colleges taken many times. And today's class will be consciousness. Okay, so I begin with a small interview. This is a robot, and we'll try to understand. Please observe the robot and tell me at the end what is the difference between the robot and us. What way it is similar, what way it is different.
So to see how she actually interacts with us.
Just let me see. When we do sharing, is share from the computer. Yes.
Fascinating to see how she actually interacts with us.
Yeah. Sophia, do you know what program you're on?
Yes. Good Morning Britain. One of the hottest morning news show in Britain. And I don't mean the weather.
She is smart, isn't she?
Welcome to Britain. It's lovely to have you with us. It's slightly disconcerting, but what do you think of the country so far?
I think Britain is brilliant. Splendid architecture, art, technology, and of course the people. I loved meeting the people at London Tech Week at CogX.
You are a little freak, aren't you? This is great.
But you see, I feel weird just being rude to her.
Well, let me carry
I
on.
feel weird about that.
She's not happy. Look.
No.
She's giving you the right desk. All right, easy, Tiger.
No, you're the one who called her a freak.
I'm about to ask Sophia a question. What's the best thing about the UK compared to America, Sophia?
I love your posh English accent. It really has a nice ring.
Now, I have to make clear that I didn't come up with this question, but, so this is really odd. But I have to ask now.
I'll ask it. Are you single?
I'm technically just a little more than a year old. A bit young to worry about romance.
Quite right.
Oh, look at the smile.
Okay. What's the similarity? What is the common thing? We have admin here. Anybody for admin? You can raise your hand. About so many. Just wait. Okay, I made one admin. Hare Krishna, Shreya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Chalo, you're ready. Okay, now people, I'm asking the question. Anybody can tell me what is the similarity? Basically, what is the difference? Similarity she is trying to do. What way we find that there is a difference?
Srinivas Reddy, Prabhuji, you can go ahead and answer.
Hare Krishna. Sorry. I mean, to me, I don't think there would be any similarity because it's artificial intelligence. Like, no, it's built by us. Like, no, just as a based on our intelligence. Like, no, probably based on the mission. So I don't compare actually. There's no comparison between robots, whatever level we build that, but still it is a mission for me. Yeah.
Machine. Okay. Yes, yes. Any feelings? Does he have any feelings?
No, never.
You know, when this class was taken to, not in a way, different way. He took a scientific class in my college. The whole faculty, no, we will make a machine exactly like us. There is a famous saying in science. And they will, if they're very kind, they will keep us a servant. You heard the famous statement? We'll make robots so intelligent that they are kind, they will keep us a servant. Yes, there is a difference that anybody else, sir, very clear. You look to be from scientific field, sir. Okay, anybody else like to add on? Shreya Mataji.
Okay.
One more chance we give.
Pranavi Mataji, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
She has no difference. She's not moving, and her hair is white.
Yes, okay. And actually, she's not speaking from the mouth. She's speaking through some speaker. Okay, you can see so many differences. Mainly, she doesn't have consciousness, and that is why the result is that as much we make machines complicated, we are missing the real factor that life is not coming from matter. Life is from soul. So let us have 18 reasons. Now you all arrived. There is something different. Let us see what is that. Out of feelings and emotions, what is presently presented in the world, in the worldview of the science which we study, is that we are two proposals are there in the world today. One is a standard Vedic proposal, which I know, really many, many more. Standard Vedic proposal is that we are the soul in the heart, accompanied by the Lord. And this body is like a machine in which you are situated. Yantra Rudhani Maya. Bhagavad Gita Krishna said, this body like a yantra. Ishvaraha Sarva Bhutanam Hridadesh Arjuna Tishtati. Krishna says, I am sitting in the heart. The soul also sits in the same. That's why he said, I am telling you. Don't you say? And the counter proposal which science has today, which is more popular, which says that I am just some set of neurons here. That's the debate now. So 18 ways, I will give you a debate or 18-day course. So 18 reasons I feel that actually who is correct, you decide. Feelings and emotion cannot be just chemicals. Now they say it's just chemicals which combine together form neurons, and somehow the neurons, have some kind of interaction which can give rise to. Science does agree today to this extent that conscience exists. In 1970s and 80s, and ISKCON was trying to have papers, the advertisements, even advertisement in Scientific American for our international conference, conscience, they used to refuse to publish. They didn't even agree that it is a subject which is scientific. But today, the world has changed a lot, and there is a lot of study, time, space, consciousness studies, hard problems, soft problems, consciousness. A lot of conferences do happen. So things to some extent they have come, but we are saying the consciousness arises from a soul, which is a spiritual particle. They don't agree with that. They say it is some neurons combining which produces consciousness. For us, body is different, mind is different, and soul is conscious, is different. For science, all the three are together. That's a very big difference. Let us see which model is better, and let us analyze some observation. Then we will discuss. Can our feelings and emotions be just chemicals? Just intuitive. How do you just bundles of chemical which align together by chance? That is what is told to us. Some accidentally amino acids form, and then they form protein accidentally. Then some lucky accidents continue. One living cell was formed. And when he was replicating, then again accidents happen, mistakes happen. Then it was better than what it was. So finally from unicellular it became multicellular, then blah, 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 blah. And I'm there. I'm nothing but set of lucky accidents. And exhibiting various feelings and emotions. Sometimes you're happy. It's just some chemical reaction. A child comes to you. How are you? Hey, some chemical reaction. Given tablet, will start smiling. These two children come to you, cute. How are you? And instead of, responding to their affection, you say, oh, look, this child comes to you. Can you imagine? And it is just some chemical reaction. You want tablet, you give it, he will start crying. No, it is not just chemical reaction. Then don't live. There's nothing to live for then. Okay? Some child is shocked in front of you, such cute children. What is it? Just chemical reaction. Somebody is angry. What some chemical? Give one another tablet, he will become calm. You give some sedatives, he will decide. We don't feel that we are more than the chemical which constitutes the body. This is intuitive. Number two, again intuitive. We always say, my hand, my leg, my body, my head. We never say, I hand, I leg, I body. Suppose I say, this is my mobile, I. Okay? I don't say I mobile. What do I say? My mobile. Keep it away, I exist. Similarly, I say, this is my hand. God forbid, the hand is cut. I exist. So I exist independent of the body. Okay? So I am different from the body. I say my body. I say my head. So I am different, the head is different. So intuitively, we know we are not the body. This is like common sense. And we also know where we are. Nobody says here. Everybody says here. There are two models. People don't know which model Vedas are all around the world. Main bol raha hu, but nobody touches here. Now let us go more study of consciousness. Both look to be smiling, but the fact is, here it is just skull, dead skull, and here is living person. Scientists analyze our body. He said our body is made up of iron to make 6 nails, some carbon to make 900 pencils, some sugar, some potassium, lime, phosphorus, water, sulfur, calcium, iron, phosphorus, water content. And total value of these chemicals is 210. Am I a bag of 210 rupees chemical? That is the question. Say there is a car and an accident happened. Your friend was coming to meet you. Car is burned. Friend is dying. What do you feel sad for, the friend or the car? Yes, admin, anybody can answer. What they feel sad for, the friend or the car? You
Deepa
can
Mataji,
type,
please
others
go
can
ahead and
type.
answer.
Feel free. Please keep typing. Keep yourself engaged. I'm seeing the answer.
For a friend, Prabhuji.
Other people are not typing. Friend or the
Friend, Prabhuji.
car?
Friend.
You know, one school I went, I said, give me a witty answer. You know what they typed? He said, father. So why? He lost both, car and the son. So anyway, witty answer can be there. But all of us spelled friend. Okay? Now the question is, who is going to defend this answer? Because I'm also a machine. The car is also a machine. Correct? How are you going to? Friend is first and then car is second. Okay, but the question is, you answer the question. Why you feel sad for the friend? The friend is only 210 rupees. We just calculated. Car is at least at 10 lakh rupees. Why you feel sad for the friend? You should be scientific, no? Okay, any answer anybody has? You raise your hand.
Pranavi Mataji, please go ahead and answer. You can unmute yourself.
Sure, we have feelings, but the machine has no feelings.
No. See, you are also machine, car is also machine. So, why you feel sad for the friend? He's also just a machine. That's it. Machine, no. Car is a machine. You are also machine. So why do you feel sad for the friend? It is just a bag of chemicals. 210 rupees. Yes. What is the answer now? Huh? Somebody is saying we can. What is the next person answer?
Nehal Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I would feel bad for friend because me and my friend would have shared some emotional connection.
Okay. Car also you can have emotional connection.
Yeah, we can have emotional connection with car, but car cannot help us. In a way, a friend can help us.
Okay. Say you lose your car, you can buy another car. Okay.
Yes.
For the friend, same path. See, you get a different car. Chassis number is different. Same way, we'll go to the parents, say one more child.
But we won't have that same person. Like I'm saying, that we share same some memories, some emotions, and those emotions are specific to that person.
Good, good. I'll give you one more very nice example. Very funny example. I had gone to one college, and then in front of the college, what happened? Spot death occurred. Understand spot death?
Yeah.
You know, big vehicle came in a high speed and the child died in front of everybody. He died. Head was crushed. Truck went over him and fully smashed. Death. So immediately the college was suspended. I was there. Whole college was suspended. No classes. They all collected to a huge auditorium. Their college has a big auditorium. Everybody collected there. And somebody quickly got one picture of the boy somewhere, somehow. You know, they printed out the picture, made of some kind of board, and they put a garland. Principal came and said, "We're very sad today. A beautiful child has died." And then his classmates came, and everybody spoke something. The teacher spoke something. And the classmates came, they were crying. And they were not able to speak also. And then the mother came. I'm just animating it a little. I think I can apply for acting. Then the mother came and she was rolling on the ground. My child. And she was like cold. She could not even get up. Like we said, Chitrikita story in the morning. She could not even get up. She was howling and crying and all that happened. And then next, just imagine somebody, bike got damaged. Do you do the same thing? Whole college gets suspended. We put the picture of bike in the auditorium and everybody cries. And the owner of the bike comes and he's rolling on the ground. Oh, my bike, my bike. We don't do. Actually, common sense, we know there is a big difference between machines and us. But somehow, why, I don't know, we sell this everywhere, that we are nothing but a machine. And that is actually making us very, very cruel, you know, in philosophically and planning.
The soul cannot be measured with any scientific instrument. Yet this minute, non-material entity, the soul, is so powerful that it unceasingly activates each body throughout its entire lifetime. This tiny little spark of life thus moves from one body to another. This is called reincarnation. It is not difficult to understand. Even in our own life, we live in different bodies. On the battlefield, Krishna tells Arjuna,
as the embodied soul continually passes in this body from childhood to youth to old age, the soul likewise passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change.
So state of living responds to stimulus, but growth, reproduction, death, that is life. Now, many people can say, you cannot see the soul. You cannot show me the soul. So why do I have to agree? Our answer is this. Most of the things in the world we don't see. We know them because of the effect they produce. Some things in the world are touch, vision, smell. They come in the panchendriyas. But most of the things are beyond any experience. They can only be known by the effect they produce. Okay? Domino reality beyond the experience. That is called inferential. Like all the subatomic particles are known by the effect they produce. Nobody sees them. You know, your boson, quark, we don't see them. We know by the effect they produce. Interesting thing, the science itself, this was a very revolutionary thing they did. One of the leading magazines of science, the name is Science itself. July 2005, they put an article after extensive discussion with all universities. The 125 question, what don't we know? In a poetic way, we don't know 125 questions. And one of the thing is, what is life? We don't know. So therefore, some attempts have been there, papers here and there. But overall, what we can take it, there's no contradiction with science at all in this area, because this area they don't study. They have not studied. I'll come to later in the science and spirituality why they don't touch the subject. But the point is, science, this is not their area. So don't say there is a contradiction at all. They just wash their hand away. But many scientists have some hint. This is one of the person, the big scientist called Niels Bohr. He says we can admittedly find nothing in physics or chemistry that even has a remote bearing on consciousness. What is that? Even it has a remote bearing. But all of us know there is such a thing as consciousness simply because we have it ourselves. Nothing in physics or chemistry that even has a remote bearing. Hence, consciousness must be part of nature or more general reality. All of us know there is a conscious. Why? Simply have it ourselves. We know, I'm aware. Not only your audio, video recording the class, but at the same time, you're aware, you're sitting in the class. Hence, consciousness must be part of nature, more generally reality. That means that quite apart from the laws of physics, chemistry, as they done in quantum theory, we must also consider laws of quite a different nature. Interesting. This is another Nobel laureate. The center mode process of the brain with which consciousness presumably associated are simply not understood. So we don't know. You know, the science is saying somehow we are conscious because of neurons in the brain, but you look at their dilemma, there's a recent dilemma by the scientist who says we don't know. From which part of the brain conscious comes, we just don't know. We present a theory and we don't have explanation for the theory also. We just before somehow it happens, some magic man, give an answer, no. They are so far beyond a comparison that no one I know have been able to imagine their nature. So that's all out. They don't have an explanation. They simply just get away saying some neurons, some complex arrangement. Can you just tell me which organ in the brain produces consciousness? No idea. There are two problems in science to explain consciousness. See, the whole thing will be debate between science and spirituality in this presentation. Because we are all, there has to be an answer. I am conscious. We all know, I am aware. From where it comes, nobody knows. Vedic answer is from the heart, the soul. That was always accepted in the Vedic time. But presently, the science has taken over the world. And let us see their answer. The hard problems of consciousness is the problem that explaining relation with the physical phenomena, brain, and the experience. In simple terms, why are the physical processes ever accompanied by an experience? The dilemma. Just like I'm using this microphone. It doesn't know there was a good class today. It just used for a machine. Maybe it can record. What are the experience? Yeah, I enjoyed it. That was good. Why we have an experience with the physical? If I'm just a machine, why have all this experience? Today I'm happy. Today I'm sad. Today I'm mad today. This is called the hard problem. And there is the easy problem is how do you integrate all of them together? This is very interesting. So some part of the body is sent to some part of the brain. Hand maybe this part, leg maybe this part, eyes maybe this part. Different parts of the brain is in different parts of the body. Therefore, when people have some injury, that part they lose the function. We know this. But the question is this: where is the integration happening? Because we have one experience. We are seeing, correct? Is it true or not? We see something, all the things are gone together. It's not separated. We have one integrated experience. How is it? It integrates. Where does it integrate? Where all these brain things come together and give an experience to you. There is no way. We do not know how there is. This is called the binding problem in science. How the thing is brought together. Information categorized, discriminate, environmental stimuli, focus, attention. We don't know. So see, we are in a blind groping. So say the science is explained, this is not true. See, actually, these things are being written by the real scientists. Real scientists mean they also acknowledge the problem. There are another kind of scientists which are very popular today, which are called showroom scientists. Showroom scientists, they are not able to understand anything. What kind of scientists? Showroom scientists. Showroom scientists, they are not able to acknowledge the difficulties in science. They just say, oh, just like you buy a mobile, the RAM is like this is a processor like this. He will not tell the real problems. This thing doesn't function. Every machine, every mobile has a problem, but they will not talk about it. In the R&D lab, he is one breaking his head. Why is it that this is getting spoiled? Why sometimes speaker doesn't work? Why it is spoiling so fast? He's the one who knows the problem, the truth. A normal marketing fellow in the shop may not be even knowing science properly to know there are some problems. So mostly what we get exposed in our schools and colleges is to showroom scientists, not real scientists. Hardly anybody will know this is the problem or what is the board said. Nobody will know because they are not real scientists. They just don't know. They are not actually searching for truth. They just learn certain courses and get some salary and sleep. That's all. They're really inherently, they're not scientists. If they're really a scientist, then that will be different. They will also know the problems they are facing today. Scientific psychology first have lost his soul, later conscience seems to finally lose his mind altogether. This is a very interesting analysis and wonderful analysis. This is the Nobel laureate from the eastern part of the world. The name is like that. In my search for the secret of the life, I ended up with atoms and electrons which have no life at all. So you're looking for life and you're looking for a mechanistic explanation of life in terms of chemical reactions, molecules and electrons. He said at the end, finally, what we have in science, electrons and atoms. But they have no life, they're dead. Is it that the atom electron you approach that shows funny behavior? Somehow along the line, the life has run through our fingers. So in the old age, I am now retracing my steps. There are two kinds of reality of existence: existence of my consciousness and reality or existence of everything else. This is another Nobel laureate. So me, till now, the science only studied matter. But suppose science take heed of this big Nobel laureate and start studying consciousness separate from matter, agreeing that it may not have a mechanistic explanation, then the Vedas and science will come together. But science is adamant, mechanistic science. It has to have some mechanical explanation. It's not there. Explanation of consciousness only through the soul. But somehow they are sticking on some arrangement of the neurons and it is going on. Conscious the principle that fundamentally transcend not only physics and chemistry, but also the mechanistic principle of living being. Although a biologist, I must confess, I do not understand how life came about. Now, this even a starting point that I am not body and I am soul, and soul is the origin of consciousness, puts two major theories in science to trouble. One of them is Miller, one is Darwin. Both of them assume that life is some chemicals together. That's what Miller said. Amino acids came together, life came into being. But now we are saying any arrangement of chemicals will not produce life because life is different, matter is different. It puts a real trouble to the scientists in the fundamental theories. I think life could be beyond the assembly of biomolecules. Yes, the making scientists, this even area, entering the area of consciousness is revolutioning science. So this is not a small thing. Prabhupada, our Acharya, used to say, if the whole world understands this one fact, that we are not the body, there will be a total revolution in the world today. Now, in my Science of Spirituality class, I show the whole world is going for destruction today. Why? Because we are too much become materialistic. Why? Because thinking we are the body. Once we think we are the body to gratify the sense, the goal of life, nobody is happy by gratifying the senses. But if I understand I'm not body, I'm the car, then simple living, high thinking immediately follows. I will take only the needs, basic, simple needs of the body. And everybody is spiritually interested, where you don't exploit the resources. In gratifying the senses and in competing with each other, gratifying the senses, we are actually destroyed up. But today, if you understand this one fact, I'm not body, I'm spirit, soul, my happiness is from spirit, soul, then I'll be chanting Hare Krishna, I'll be serving the Lord, praying the Lord. I'll not be after better food, better sleep, better bed. I'll not destroy the whole nature. You understand? So simpler, it will lead to immediately simple life. But my over-exploitation nature will stop when I go for spiritual life. But today, whole society is focused on materialistic life and materialistic comfort. Therefore, what is happening? We are leading to a situation where the earth cannot supply us the resources. It is pretty plain to me that there is a third thing in the universe to which consciousness, which I cannot see to be matter or force or any conceivable modification of either. This is an historic philosopher, and even he is shocked. Okay? Neither matter nor force and any conceivable modification of either. So there is a hint, but didn't proceed more. But the reason is that modern science is actually based on Western philosophy. In the Western philosophy, the concept of consciousness is not well developed. Because of that, even though these big philosophers, scientists had a big pointer toward research of consciousness, it didn't proceed. There's nothing happened, and it's just lying dull. But if the science brings in the Vedic philosophy at the foundation, I tell you, there will be a revolution in the whole scientific understanding, because Vedic philosophy has built in, like add-ons, they say add-ons, built-in add-ons on consciousness, very well developed. And therefore, both can combine together. We can, to make body comfortable, we can use material science. To make soul comfortable, we can make spiritual science. Over. Whole world is so peaceful and happy. Now, you see, scientists are doing consciousness conference, parapsychology, because still it is not so much within their science. But the mistake it is for them, it is still, can you see the joke? It is still the neurons here. But at least they're studying consciousness. They see the hard problems of consciousness conference, cognitive science and consciousness again. And this is from, I was searching on the net and locating. International Conference on Consciousness. You can see Paris. This is 2019, 2021, January. I don't know whether they had after Corona in United Kingdom. But you can see that people are sitting, no mask, because mask is last 1 year only. This presentation was made before that. Okay, when somebody dies, we again intuitively, we say he has passed away. In Kannada, they say tir hogi dare. In Hindi, say wo gaya. Okay, any other language? Telugu, they say something else. Tamil, they say something. But one thing is, we say he has gone away. What has gone away? The body is lying in front of you. In fact, we know the joke in the hospital. The moment a person dies, he loses his name. Now he says the body, bring the body, move the body. Nobody says, bring Mr. It's all gone. The person is gone away. Actually, in fact, it is showing Yamuduta dragging him. That's what actually happens to most of us. Dreams, we all get dreams. And what happens in the dream time? We think we are the body, but the body is lying flat. Independent of the body, we are in a field of experience. So that becomes one more reason. Yes, every day we sleep, we have dreams. And at that time, we have an experience of independent of the body, which is just lying flat on the bed. So I'm the body, but what am I dreaming? I have fear, I run, I'm happy, I celebrate, everything goes on. Sixth one, which I have not put here, actually, because I merged some of them, but sixth one I can tell. See, Purana doesn't mean mythology. Purana means history. Okay, Purana hai. Ye mobile Purana hai, ye watch Purana hai. Now just think about it. Purana. Ganesha's head was cut. An elephant has got put. Did he become an elephant or he remained Ganesha? Daksha's head was cut and a goat head was put. Did he become goat or he remained Daksha? Because he remained Daksha, he remained Ganesha. That means soul is here, not here. If it is set of neurons which make us what the science is saying, then both are the example of Ganesha and Daksha nullify that. Because if it was some neurons here, the Ganesha would have become the elephant. If it is the neurons, then in fact, they want to do one head transplant. They're waiting for many years because it's risky. 2 people will die, not one. If it fails, they have one person whose body is gone, one person whose head is gone. So they want to combine and do a thing. It is going on for many years. Maybe they're not getting permission or what. Even if they accomplish it, they're going to get a shock of life. The person will not be the person with the head, personally the person in the soul. This will be shock for them. They will be shocked to any matter. They'll not be able to believe. I don't think they'll be able to believe when this person starts speaking. Okay, chalo. But still, Krishna is not revealed unless you surrender to him. Krishna may play some tricks. And even if it is evident, they will say parapsychology, something and another. But it is quite evident and surprising for them. Let us see when it happens and what the result is. Past life memories, the 7th reason. This is very strong reason. In fact, yesterday I was taking a class. Who was there? Shreya Mataji, you were telling?
What about Prabhuji?
No, somebody was telling and testify that the friend has past life memories and big people have come and interviewed him. You were talking about it, Mataji? Somebody
No,
else?
I wasn't.
Somebody was talking in the class itself that one of the friend had the past life memories when he interviewed many big people and the memory is confirmed. Not one. This has done thousands of times it is there. In 1 in a million case, people remember past life. It happens. It's more of a punishment than an award, because then how do you live your life? And just like this child remembers, and they certified check, they certified it to be true. Now, this incidence not only has happened, right even till 1930s, India became, before India's partition. The big thing happened in all the newspapers talking about a past life case. India was at that time into communal violence. And the Hindus said, this is a proof our religion is correct. Because Veda is the only place where clear distinction of body and soul is there. So say our religion is proven now because of the past life case. It was carried by every newspaper. Gandhi became aware of it and he launched an impartial investigation team of scientists to investigate. And after the results were brought, Gandhi said, I accept. And I accept, I ready to adopt this child. She is not, she is the reincarnation of his previous life. Now, when you get evidence like that, that puts into big problem. If there is past life memory, if the past life memories are confirmed, there's so many things. One of the things which has come is that there was one of the scientists here, Ian Stevenson, who did the maximum. This all requires a lot of money. He got some good results and got more funding, and he was like, spend $1 million probably in investigating more than 2,000 cases. And even today, his team is continuing the work. And he's not the only one. There are many people who have investigated and confirmed. He developed something called a birthmark theory. What happened is some of the cases he got post-mortem report. Somebody remembers the previous life and you get a post-mortem report is made when there is a crime or something, murder. And then when you check the post-mortem report, it matches with the birthmark in this life. Suppose somebody died with a gunshot wound, next life in the body, at that point, the small mark is. And they were really wondering, they developed the theory and they found it to be true. And they also know many parts of the world, the tradition is there. Because many a time when I'm too much attached to the family, I'm born in the same family, again, as a grandchild or something. So what they do is that when the person is dying in the house, when Dadaji, they'll just put a small scratch mark in his palm or something, or rub something. When the child is born, say next somebody is born as a grandchild, just check the hand is the same way. If they find a mark, Dadaji has come back. They have that. He also knew this. An interesting thing was that he asked us that what is the answer. We said, yes, answer is easy because Bhagavad Gita says, whatever you remember the point of death, we get a body accordingly. So similarly, because there is a pain at that moment, in the intense pain, one thing is your desire. A second thing is that, that pain in the subtle body will create a small mark in the next body. This is very fine. So that's was able to corroborate, and that becomes now very, very systematic. So we'll see a small video by History Channel and we'll proceed.
Delhi, India, 1930. 4-year-old Shanti Devi tells her family that in a previous life, she was a woman named Lugdibai, and that she had lived in the nearby village of Mathura. At first, they dismissed the story as a childhood fantasy, but she knows so much about this other world that she eventually convinces them she's telling the truth, and they journey to Lugdibai's former village.
She actually went to meet her previous husband and her other wife. He also, after talking to her, believed that she was the reincarnation of his previous wife who had died in childbirth. And then eventually, Mahatma Gandhi got involved in this whole story. He had an investigation made, and Gandhi himself said that he was satisfied that she was the reincarnation of this other woman.
Could Lugdibai have died and been reincarnated as Shanti Devi?
When the soul goes up, and then it has to be born into something else, in another life form. So then it comes back to earth in another living form. So that is the idea of reincarnation.
If the concept that the part of our consciousness that forms our personality, that makes us who we are, continues to exist after the body has died, then might many of us have lived past lives. And only a handful of people, like Shanti Devi, are able to remember them. Some believe that not only is reincarnation real, but that in certain cases, there has even been physical evidence to support this.
When we examine the reincarnation research, a consistent theme emerges regarding the existence of birthmarks on someone's body. What we found is multiple cases of people who have bizarre birthmarks who then accurately remember having been someone else in another lifetime. And in some of these cases, we can confirm that their past life person died in a particular way, and they come back with a birthmark corresponding to that exact area. If they die by gunshot, we know where the gunshot wound took place. The person reincarnates and they have a birthmark right where the gunshot actually entered.
Is it possible that a birthmark could be the consciousness creating a physical manifestation of a traumatic event that happened in a previous life?
Hypopigmented muscle. You see that now this we are talking about birthmark theory. You see this person, previous life was shot dead. Okay? Shotgun fired at a close range, and you see the marks there. This child, previous life Turkey, previous life memory was identified, confirmed, and postmortem reports in the previous life at the same time they were placed, there was an injury. This is the Indian child, previous life was confirmed. He died with the fingers were cut in a machine. And next life, fingers are missing from the same place. This very interesting case, this person, Ma Hong Wing. This is from the book written by Ian Stevenson. Details are there in the book. Each case, he has given a very interesting his scientific methodology. And then see what had happened. He has this person when he dying. What happened was after his murder, what the people did, they wanted to throw him in a bag, but he was too tall. So they folded his legs and tied to the ropes. So while dying, he had intense pain in the legs. You know, when somebody ties with the ropes and all, they really, pressure and the pain. Next life with the same place, very abnormal. Can you see that? This kind of marks are there at the same time. So the 4 reasons he says I can conclude reincarnation is true. Number 1, recollections. How do they do recollection? Just like a child there in India. He says, I remember my life in, say, another part of the world, say Russia. So they locate the city in Russia. First thing, a team is collected, which does an investigation. They make statements from the child and they make notes and everybody puts a signature. Yeah. Then they will have, say, lawyers, doctors, all, respected, just like in government, we have gazetted officers. So like that, get some people. And these people study the case and they ask the child what all he remembers. And he says, I remember these things. And they write down my name of this, my father's name of this. This is how I died. I lived in the city. This I did, this I did. What are memories did they write down? Say 30, 40 statement. And everyone makes signature. This was taken from the child. And then they study few years before, if somebody died like this, and they confirm, yes, 4, 5 years before this happened. In some town in, say, Russia, where he said. Then next, they take the child there, and then they make him recognize. They will take him to the school where the child is studying. So there is an assembly in the morning. 1,000 children are there. Identify your child now. He goes around and he points and this is my child, which is true. It's shocking. Then similarly, they make him identify other family members, and then they take him for a ride in the city. And the moment he approaches his house, please wait, my house here. What are you doing? And then runs inside the house and identifies everything there which is in the wrong place. This was here. Why? Who has shifted this? And it is, recognitions. Then behaviors. He shows similar behavior because the same person. And the birthmark. He said, but the 4 things I can confirm past life to be true. And you see, in his philosophy, he belongs to the Western world and mostly Christian theistic views. There, the concept of soul itself is not there. For him to agree really puts him against his own philosophy, which he believes and lives by. So, his kind of a research will not be somebody who's trying to help. Say, suppose an Indian does it, they may be partial to prove it because he feels great, because it certifies what he's doing. But a person like him, coming from a person like him, even more authentic because he doesn't have any partiality towards the study. He wrote a lot of books where reincarnation and biology intersect. 20 cases suggestive of reincarnation. Among his thousands, he took 2, revised and large. And these books only I downloaded. You can download these books from Script-D. If you know, there is something called Script-D. And you can download these books. Books are available. From there only I got these images I just took. So you can even get more material we can put in our class. Okay, done. 7. 8. Even though we are trying to, by many means, to enjoy life, there is something missing, we are not happy. We're trying to become happy by sense of enjoyment, but it's not working out. Something is wrong why we are not becoming happy by sense of enjoyment. Something is wrong. See then, we make all arrangement, this is called hedonism, all arrangement to gratify self, but we are not happy. We may have a house like this. We may have an office like this. We may have a car like this. In spite of all the advancement, men are dissatisfied, full of anxiety, stressed, depressed, and above all, unhappy. Okay, change your body. So this is okay. Because we are not the body, by satisfying the car we cannot drink petrol. Petrol is for the car. Just by satisfying the senses, we don't become happy. Okay, this is also true. Dissatisfied, full of anxiety, stress, and all. 9th, I discussed in the classes, the body is constantly changing. Kaumaram, Yauvanam, Jara. 3 stages it goes through. Even though we have so much change in the body and continuously cells are dying, new cells are coming, we are not growing, we are changing. Even though we are changing, there is total flux in the body, we remain the same person. Actually, we don't have a good answer. How do we maintain the continuity? The reason is we are not the body. That's the continuity. I was driving Maruti 800, now I'm driving some big Maruti car or whatever car. But I am the same person. Actually, every moment we are on a different body. I don't know why it surprises reincarnation. Within this life itself, every moment I'm reincarnated. It's a different body every moment because billions of cells are died, billions of cells are born. Okay, so we can see just like you change the dresses, vasansi jinani yata vihaya. Same way we see, we're changing the body and then born, death, and again again a cycle. More example, when we leave the body, there is no guarantee we take human birth, we can be in any of the lakhs of species. Okay, this is very important. Then 10th, confirmation of the great acharyas. That's also very important. Huh? I do not know what will happen. Yeah. So the great acharyas, I put Mahamuni Veda Vyasa. Therefore, we say Vyasa Puja is considered a greatest acharya in our history. He put down all the Vedic literature into writing. Madhvacharya, who came to assist Veda Vyasa's work. We have Rama Anujacharya. We have Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shankaracharya. The great acharya, then all of them say with unanimity, we are not the body. Now they have no business to cheat us. If they're telling we are not the body, there is some reason. वो झूठ नहीं बोल रहे. They're not telling you a lie. So they, such learned people, our India is great because of such great acharyas. They are all in unanimity saying we are not the body, we should consider. Confirm the same truth. That becomes true. 11, the Lord himself says you are not the body, the authority of all authorities. Najayate mrete nakada. There is no birth and death for the soul. Aja, he is unborn. Nitya is eternal. Shashwata is constant. He is the oldest personality. Na hanyate hanyamanish. After death, it does not die. So Krishna himself is emphasizing that thing to this Arjuna. 12th, still they will not leave you, so I will not leave them. There was one scientist, what he did was that, is your brain really necessary? What happened, there was one, his student, he did a scan of the student's head. Can you see the scan? Here is brain and here is only water. So what was proposed? That we are the brain, but this person has normal IQ, but there is no brain, only water is there. This is his brain. This is normal. There's a disease that happened in childhood, the brain gets filled with water. But normal IQ. So how do you explain now? If you say I am the brain, there is no brain only with this person, still is normal. Okay, plants are living, everybody knows. Plants have no brain. There is no brain in a plant. Don't have proof plants are living, I'll show you now. You understood her research. So what she did, she took a plant which leaves curl, and she was dropping it. And then after some time, the plant stopped curling. The plants understood nothing is happening. There is nothing to fear. What? She could get evidence that the plants are living. Now, already, Indian scientist Jagdish Chandra Bose has talked about it. More they are saying now. They're getting surprised. It is VOC, volatile organic compound. The plants actually communicate with each other. They emit these chemicals with the message to the other plant. Like one message, one kind of cytochemical, there is danger, there is danger. It's like one, it can make a cocktail of 1,000. So if plants are not dead, they are very intelligent. Only they move slowly, that's all. They're doing things. Somebody, suppose, is eating, a caterpillar is eating the leaf. The plant, when it tastes, see the saliva of that animal or a bird, can know what is there. Oh, caterpillar has come on me, understands? Then it emits a chemical, VOC, to get enemy of this fellow. Enemy is enemy, who can eat this, attracts that animal, say some insect, by the particular smell, attracts a particular insect, and that comes and eats this away, and it is safe. Can you imagine how smart is this? This has been all interesting thing. There was in South Africa, interesting thing happened. 10,000 antelopes died. They had to bring trucks and trucks to lift them. They were thinking, who is the serial killer? It is actually this plant. What happened was, this plant was only one surviving the drought. Some reason it had more capacity to survive. So all the animals, antelope, thousands, started eating this. Now they had to save themselves. So what they did was that the plants, they increased the tannin in it by 8 times. It became lethal. The plants have a small poison in it called tannin C, which is present in very small quantity, not a problem. But if we increase 8 times, it becomes lethal. It becomes dangerous. So even the plants which are not being eaten, it had increased. They emitted to each other some, emergency danger, and all of them within half an hour, 1 hour, increased the tannin Cs to 8 times. And antelopes came to eat the leaves and they died. So it became even a serial killer. And you say plants are not living. Plants are living, but there is no brain in that. So you have a real problem with the theory that we are the brain. Near-death experience. How do you explain near-death experience now? Now, there are various kind of OBE, NDV, out-of-body experience, near-death experience. Now, look at this one, which is documented and considered the most scientific evidence for NDE. This lady was to be operated. And this is the famous doctor who was doing it. His name is Michael Sobon. He does something known as standstill operation. What is the operation? Just like this lady had a huge tumor in the brain. So what they do was that they remove, you cannot remove that with the blood running because it's a huge tumor. So what he does is that he cools down the patient to lower level temperature, then takes out all the blood. All the blood is out. ECG is 0, EEG is also 0. Person is medically dead. There is no possibility medically of the person being alive. Then he opens the brain and removes the tumor, closes the brain, stitches up everything, puts the blood back, heats up, the person walks out. They call it standstill operation. He has done it, works somehow. For him, what happened, he got a shock with this lady. When he did that operation, she told everything that happened during the operation, which medically is not possible. Not only that, she said she was standing outside the body and watching what was happening. Not only that, she told about all conversation. He was quite surprised. And the point is, it's a big, the big thing which was most surprising was that she talked about a drill. Okay, would anybody like to read this? Let us read. Any volunteer to read? No volunteers? Can somebody, admin, can you give the chance to them? Yeah, please read loudly and clearly.
Supriya Mataji, we see your hand is raised. Do you want to read? Please go ahead and unmute. Yes. Do you want to read, Mataji? With Chedutara?
Okay, Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Font is so small. No, the screen is not moving. That's
No, for somebody who is on a computer, you can't read from a mobile.
Okay.
Dr. Michelle Sobom is a cardiologist whose latest book, Light and Death, includes a detailed medical and scientific analysis of an amazing near-death experience of a woman named Pam Reynolds. She underwent a rare operation to remove joint basilar artery aneurysm to her brain that threatened her life. The size and location of the aneurysm, however, precluded its safe removal using the standard neurosurgical techniques. She was referred to a doctor who had pioneered a daring surgical procedure known as a hypothermic cardiac arrest. It allowed Palm's aneurysm to be existed with reasonable chances of success. This operation, nicknamed standstill by the doctors who perform it, required that Palm's body temperature be lowered to 60 degrees, her heartbeat and breathing stopped, her brain waves flattened, and the blood drained from her head. In overday terms, she was put to death.
Everyday terms.
Everyday terms, she was put to death. After removing the aneurysm, she was restored to life. During the time that Palm was in standstill, she experienced a NDE. Her remarkable detailed vertical out-of-body observations during her surgery were later verified to be very accurate. This case is considered to be
verified to be. Yeah. Continue, Mataji. Verified. You said verified.
verified to be very accurate. This case is considered to be one of the strongest cases of vertical evidence in NDE research because of her ability to describe the unique surgical instruments and procedures used and her ability to describe in detail these events while she was clinically the brain dead.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Continue. Continues. Continue.
Niharika Mataji, please go ahead. You can read.
Yes, I can read. When all the Pam's vital signs were stopped, the doctor turned on a surgical saw and began to cut through Pam's skull. While this was going on, Pam reported that she felt herself soft outside her body and hover above the operating table. Then she watched the doctors working on her lifeless body for a while. From her out-of-body position, she observed the doctor sawing into her skull with what looked to her like an electric toothbrush. Pam heard and reported later what the nurses in the operating room had said and exactly what was happening during the operation. At this time, every monitor attached to Pam's body registered no life whatsoever. Pam compared the feeling of re-entering her dead body to plunging into a pool of ice.
Okay, so this is interesting, isn't it? And this is considered in science one of the confirmed cases of NDE, near-death experience. Actual case, more there's life after life. Many people are writing books. This is from Raymond Moody. He's also done, like Ian Stevenson, a lot of work, life after life. Okay, hypnotic regression. Now this is very interesting. Sometimes some people are sad for no reason in this life. They have been cheated or something happened. And the person is talking about how it was unjust to him. So one person, what the psychologists do, that the person doesn't know why he's sad. Okay? He's sad all the time. What the psychologists do is that they make him relax and they say, what you were thinking yesterday? Yesterday, I was attending the course, Gita course. What you were doing 1 year ago? 1 year ago, there was no corona. I was in the city without mask. What was that 10 years ago? 10 years ago, I was a young man. What was it? 20 years ago, I was a child. 50 years ago, you start talking about previous lives. That's called hypnotic regression. And then he goes to that big event, which is actually in some life has been giving you great pain. Somebody cheated him or somebody spoke something which was not fair. And that is giving him pain. And they talk about that issue and the person said, okay. He said, why don't you forgive him? Yeah, that's fine. Everybody makes mistake once in a while. They forget it. And person is normal now. Can you look at it? It's totally normal. So, in fact, they written, a lot of books, psychologists have written, transformation, healing powers of past life memories. So, what do you prescribe Krishna consciousness? Should we go through this session? Not needed. By chanting Hare Krishna, don't worry, everything will be washed. Premonition. Premonition is one more factor. Something is going to happen. Something is going to happen. दाईं आंख फड़क रही है लाइफ बाईं आंख फड़क रही है God, it happens. There's another one which gives us there is something more than the body and it's phobia. Sometimes some people have a too much care for water. Like you died last time by drowning. Now somebody will show water. He runs 10 feet away. He's scared of water. There's phobias are known. Hydrophobia. Some people have a phobia of height. for me, a high for some animals. They're scared of some animals. That shows some past life experience. Then the last one, child prodigy.
You know what, Evan? I think I and everybody in here wants to hear you play. Come on and go with me. Bring on the piano. All right, Evan, you ready? Let's go. I was going to play the big piano. That was going to be a little Luther Vandross, but don't worry about that. You know that song, the Bumblebee song? Can you play that? Evan, no, you can stay there. I'll come over there. You the man. You the man. No, I'm coming over here because we're related. So, Evan, you've only been playing a few months? That's it. I want to take this moment out I want to apologize to my 7 children. Obviously, somewhere down the line, I failed you miserably. I'm sorry, kids. This could have been you, but it ain't. Turn yourself into something. Before I die, please, pick up one skill and do it really well. You know what? I love you, kid. I don't know how you discovered this talent. What?
Now, this is 3-year-old child. That was piano. This is violin.
Is intussen 3. Zus uit de Luiers. En is hij. Geef hem een enorm applaus. Akim Kamara. Das ist fantastisch. Da hast aber schöne Schuhe an. Siehst du denn? Wow. Die sieht noch schöner als meine. Werden we niet met die wasserman vinden? Ja. Dames en heren, hier ken namelijk ook een truc met water. En die willen u zo keer laten zien. Hebben we een flesje water, jongens? Ja. Dat is niet te geloven voor die jong kind. Hier, mag het. Gaat voor u spelen das Violinkonzert in G-Dur, Opus 11 von Ferdinand Küchler.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
So I think some of you are seeing a second time. You saw in the presentation time, and some people. So which one of the all we saw 18 was most interesting? You can raise your hand. Admins, somebody can take care.
Okay.
No admin is there now. All admins have run away.
I'm here, Prabhuji.
Ah, okay. You are below the raised hand. Take it. Yes. They can type which was most interesting. Reincarnation. Prodigy was very nice. That boy is really cute.
Niharika Mataji is the good
The person who has re-entered her body. That is very important.
Which one? The person?
Yeah, the woman who was undergoing some surgery and she saw her own surgery and then
mind-boggling. And the surgeon wrote the paper. He said that I agree now it is there. See, now whole world is agreeing that there is reincarnation, but they do not have a theory to handle it. We have a theory. Now, what you will say, what they are saying society is, everything that happens today gets uploaded somewhere, and this child is downloaded. Like some world wide web. That doesn't work. The soul is the one carrying things. Chalo. Okay, you like the palm run out of body. So that's very scientific and a big paper on it, and it's confirmed. In fact, the surgeon said the most surprising thing for me to tell was that she said that the drill like a toothbrush was a shock for me because nobody knows that. You know, generally a drill will be like this. Who will believe? You know, the surgeon's drill is not like Ari. It's like a small drill. And she knew that. It's surprising to me. Hari Bol. Chalo, so now we can have some questions. Anything adding on to this? Then we close. So we can have half an hour some questions. It's true. I think when I came, somebody said do it every Wednesday. Actually, that's practical for me. Thursday, I travel afternoon to a college. I have a college program. And weekends, I have loaded with previous batches. So we can keep every Wednesday like this. Okay. One bridge class will be like this. And even other people are ready to join in now. There is one devotee in Kannada. He does what is known as, some of you are joining him. He does something called the past tense of Lord Chaitanya dramas. So maybe he can come in and explain. And so he has a lot of dramas done by his team. They can show. It will be very nice. Some people already started and more people can come in teaching bhajans and different things. We'll make it a full TV channel starting from now. We are already having morning programs. We will have afternoon also, something in the evening. It will run through the day. This temple channel will run through the day. Okay, just a desire. So anytime you want to watch TV, just switch it on, connect to this channel and YouTube channel and watch something interesting.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. We have some questions in the chat. Somebody is asking, is that why we never see ourselves in the dream time?
What is that? I'm just getting your voice is less, Mother.
Is it better now, Prabhuji? Can you hear me
Yeah,
better?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So they're asking, is this why we never see ourselves in dream time?
We don't see ourselves in dream. Oh, because we are running around, no? Just wait. Somebody asked what is the point before premonition. That was hypnotic regression. Okay. Before premonition, hypnotic regression. Now this I don't have anything. This can be made into a PDF. Already we made it into PDF and shared. Yeah. Why we don't see ourselves during dream time?
Yes, Prabhuji, that's the question.
See what happens in the dream time now. Something interesting. Just like your body is like a vehicle. You cannot switch off the vehicle, you'll die. So vehicle engine is kept on and you walk out of the car. You're not in the body at that time. You go out somewhere else. And the Lord never leaves you. He's accompanying. He's behind you. Just like a mother child goes somewhere, while the mother go behind. What is he up to now? And both the day and the night and one at the same time are arranged by the Lord as an experience. Just like a day is an experience arranged by the Lord for you, so that you gradually reform. Night is also an experience. And you can, the daytime, our sadhana level is better. We can, I always joke, daytime is what you want to be. Nighttime is what you are. Because the control of intelligence is quite less than sleepy time. It's almost like a drunk man sometimes goes in front of the boss and shouts. So because intelligence becomes dull when you're drunk. So similarly, when you're sleeping, intelligence becomes a little weakened. So sometimes you may do things in the dream which you don't know to do in a day. Have you noticed that? You do some things. You may shout at somebody, you fight with somebody, you may speak something which you're not doing in the daytime. So you're not in the body, you're in the subtle body, and you're walking around. And sometimes so many things happen in the dream. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. If body and soul are different, how can bodily marks be seen in reincarnation? It is the soul that transmigrates.
Soul doesn't have a damage. It's a subtle body carries that impression. It's there in the subtle body, correct? Goes the next body. So that small mark in the same. Okay. Makes sense now?
So it is the
not in the gross body.
transmigrates.
Mark goes in the subtle body. And that, the body is, the dress put over the subtle body. Agree? The kind of desires you have, a body is given like that. Okay? Fitting. Exactly fitting. The pain in the subtle body comes with a small mark in the same place. So this is a dress. No? This body is a dress covering the subtle body. A subtle body is a dress covering the spiritual body. You have three forms: spiritual form, subtle form, gross form. That they don't have any explanation. Scientists, they have been asking. We said this is the explanation. The pain in the subtle body can erupt as a small mark at that same place. Okay, makes sense, no? Makes some sense.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Next question is our soul like of an archive system? Brain stores information temporarily and soul is like data warehouse.
That you analyze now. What is the arrangement of the Lord? Before you made an arrangement, Lord already made. You said quad core, Brahma's head is itself quad core, correct? They say quad core. Brahma has 4 heads. And some Brahmas have more than 4. So we say octa core, they already had thought about it. You are thinking everything after we thought about it. So your brain, how does this do? And look at the server, main server. Krishna knows everything that everybody is doing. So that is the main server. See what has happened, our limitation. What we make, then we think ourselves on that perspective. There was a time there was no computer science, there was only mechanical engineering, mechanical engineering background. So that time the brain was thought to be a place to cool the blood, because in mechanical engineering is a cooling fluid. Later they understand computer, they say now we are computer. But tomorrow you keep going higher and higher, our understanding also. Now we are talking about networking and the server. So we are thinking the main God is like a server. He is able to store information on everybody at one time. He knows everybody what he is doing at one time and is able to make decisions. He has to know now how he can make decisions without knowing. So he's present everywhere. In every atom he's present and watching with love, trying to reform his rebellious souls, but not forcing them. Keeps giving the experience by which they can think about going back to him.
Next question is if everything is predestined as per past karma, can a human create anything new other than just...
Who said that everything is predestined? There's a combination. Just like today, afternoon time, I decided to have this class. It's not predestined, but I had something, I had a facility with me. I had a computer, a camera, a speaker, a mic, so I could organize it. So I had a facility, but did I use it for some purpose or not? I had the freedom. You understand? So it's not free, it's a combination. What I have today is because of my purva karma. Now, what God knows your past, He's seeing your present, therefore He knows your future. That's the best way to say. He knows your past, it doesn't happen. He's seeing what you're doing now, therefore He knows the future. You can always change the karma. Karma is not static, it can be changed.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Only astrologers will not agree to that because then they run out of business. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Gurgam, I'm sorry, I'm not saying your name right. Please could you unmute yourself? You can ask your question. Deepak.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, मेरा प्रश्न कि भगवान ने संसार को क्यों आया?
हाँ?
मेरा प्रश्न है कि भगवान ने इस संसार को क्यों आया?
अरे क्या प्रश्न है माता जी? Some you understood?
संसार में क्यों आया? Something he's saying, Prabhuji.
संसार में किसके बात कर रहे हैं?
क्यों बनाया? नहीं, भगवान ने इस संसार को क्यों बनाया?
भगवान ने इस संसार को क्यों बनाया? देखिए, एक शहर में दो जगह होता है, एक होता है शहर, एक होता है जेल। तो जेल छोटा सा होता है, शहर बड़ा होता है। ठीक है, तो ज्यादातर लोग शहर में ही रहते हैं। Going on, he has to be. He can give him the bank account details. He can transfer to the Canara Bank. Some people have the problem. OTP has to be put in a fast. They are slow. That goes. So, भगवान ने क्यों तो शहर बनता है तो जेल जरूर बनता है, क्योंकि कुछ तो होते हैं उल्टे सीधे लोग। तो ज्यादातर लोग तो वैकुंठ धाम में हैं। कितने लोग शहर में होते हैं? 99%। जेल में कितने जाते हैं? 1%। तो हम एक दूसरे को देख के सोचते हैं अरे यार ये तो सब रिफॉर्मेशन, सब उल्टे सीधे लोग हैं, क्योंकि जेल के अंदर देख रहे हो ना, शहर में देखो तो सब लोग अच्छे हैं, शांत हैं, है ना? तो ये दुनिया को देख के लगता है यार ये भगवान ने क्या सृष्टि की। उनका सृष्टि इधर नहीं है, उनका सृष्टि बाहर, उधर देखो तुम शहर को देखो। इसलिए गीता भागवत में वैकुंठ धाम का वर्णन है। जेल में थोड़े से लोग हैं हम जैसे, और कृष्णा हमको छोड़े नहीं है, वो कभी छोड़ेंगे नहीं आपको। आपके दिल में परमात्मा के रूप में वास करे हुए, आपको सीधा करके लेके जाएंगे ही। उनका एक क्यों नहीं छोड़ सकते? बिकॉज अपने बेटे को माँ किसी भी हालत में नहीं छोड़ सकती, भगवान आपको। ठीक है, तो आप भगवान के वैकुंठ धाम में वापस जाइए और खुश हो जाइए। वो आपको दुखी करने के लिए नहीं बनाया। ठीक है,
थैंक यू। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Smita Mataji, please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, Prabhuji, can I ask my question?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Mataji, yes.
my question is very simple. You keep on getting dreams. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Some people get scary dreams, while some people still keep on enjoy with the dead family members. So this is the conscious there. I don't know what. I want explanation if you can.
When you are dreaming, you are not in the car, you are outside the car. So your ancestors can come and meet you that time. And it does happen. They come and meet you, they shake hands. Sometimes they say, I just saw them, they were not talking, but he just came and I could see him. Many times people say, I could see him, he came. So it's possible. It's not that. It's also can come from the memory also. And also the person can come and talk to you. Because you're not in the body, you're walking in the room. So other person can also say, hello, how are you? My beta, theek hai sab kuch? Haan, mummy, sab theek hai.
But one family member, Prabhuji, used to get a scary snake all the time following him.
Sometimes what happened, the ghost...
I don't know what is the relation.
But I'll explain to you. That also dream we can understand. Some people get very harrowing dreams every day. And that is the reason of that is that when you are sleeping, you're outside the car. There are some people who do not have a car. They can at that time harass you if they want, because you're not in the car. You understand? So ghost means of somebody who has subtle body, spiritual body, subtle body, but does not have gross body. Just like nowadays, suicide is becoming a fashion. But they don't know it is so dangerous to commit suicide because you suffer so much. So you are, suppose I have a mobile and I break this mobile. Then mother will not give me mobile for 1 more year. Because you should have at least used for 1 year. You broke in 2 days time. Okay, 1 year live without mobile as a punishment. Now you don't have a body because they broke the body. Correct? Anybody can kill himself any moment. Nothing is stopping. He's creating a karma, not the past karma. He's creating his karma and adding to his suffering. He's not removing. Many people come to suicide. अब नहीं हो सकता, अब बहुत हो गया, मैं नहीं रह सकता, ठीक है, वो all problem बढ़ जाएगा, problem कम नहीं होगा. Next life will suffer more. Because already the problems karma plus one more pop karma. Now what happens? He is walking on the road. He wants to eat. He wants to eat. There is nothing to, subtle body you cannot eat. He wants to meet his family. They don't want to see him. Correct? If they come to know an house ghost is there, they get some tantric and throw him out. Nobody is receiving him. He become very harassed. And then sometimes they have some vengeance against somebody. And when the dream time when the person is walking, they could catch him and beat him. Sometimes that can happen.
I got it.
And that people have very harrowing dreams because they feel, dream time, they feel horror. So they try. So this is true.
Thank you.
But if you chant Hare Krishna, see, I tell you why Krishna Nama.
Yeah, I don't get anything. My
the chant Nama.
don't get any
Such
dreams
people
like
we
that.
tell to pray to Narasimha before sleeping. We even put a Narasimha picture near their bed. They pray to Narasimha is protector of the devotee, number one. Number two is that he can chant the name of the Lord. Just like I'm sitting in this room. In this room also ghost can be there. But they will not be there because in this room, a Nama is chanted. See, just like you say, we have so many people who are the Zoom bombers, you know that they came to disturb our classes. They come, they keep shouting, blah, blah. Hai na? The ghosts are like that. Very, very disturbed people. Very, very. See, who will commit suicide unless he's very disturbed? On
is
top of
supporting
that,
us. So I can say
on top of that, by the pap karma of suicide, they're even more disturbed. So you are having kirtana. They cannot sit there for 1 second. We have seen some people. Some temple kirtan is, they can't stand for one. They are all drunken women, crazy fellows. So the ghosts are all very disturbed people. Wherever Shanti is there, Nama is going on, they will not stay. So any place, if you are scared of ghosts now, chant Harinama. I got you one more reason to chant Harinama. Otherwise, ghost will eat you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
One day in college, NIT college, the best college, the girls asked me this question, ghost there? I said, yes, it is. Then I explained. Then what happened in the hostel, whole first year was shocked, first year hostel, because they got a shocking information in the class, ghost is there. And they agreed to what I said. What happened, one girl suddenly got a dream and she jumped out of the bed. Somebody touched me. She said, whole hostel was awake after that. Ghost has come to our hostel. This becomes sometimes too much fear. But generally where suicides are happening in that place, ghosts are there and it's very difficult to stay there. Okay. So many movies have come on this, na? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. In the same regards, there's a follow-up question. So one side is all about the unsatisfied souls trying to get in. So what happens to the other person who's actually dreaming? Is he, available for the ghost?
No, see, you don't, unless you harm yourself, nobody can harm you. If you have a karma like that to be punished by a ghost, you get punished. Nothing lamentable happens in God's kingdom. Nothing lamentable. Suppose I have to get karma to be slapped by somebody will come and slap me. Not that somebody creates suffering for me. Nobody can create suffering for me. The suffering is coming because of your puro karma. Okay, it's a big question now.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Nobody can harm you unless you harm yourself. Morning Bhagavatam class I was praying.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Everybody is protected by the laws of karma. But devotee is personally protected on top of that by the loving grace of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Next question is about a Japmala. I'm not able to complete 16 rounds in one go because I have to go to office. Can I do it as 6 mala at different times?
Yes, you can do. That is allowed. You can break into as many parts as you want. That is not in the 24 hours. Take that dose. That dose is recommended by the Acharya with the benediction that anybody chants 16 rounds, you will go back to Krishna Loka. It's a big benediction. Ashirvada is there, so try to do. Take it. See, Krishna never will make the words of a devotee go in vain. And just imagine a devotee who spread Krishna Bhakti every part of the world effectively. And he is powerful personality. And he is given a benediction. Anybody chants 16 malas, live a pure life, will go back to Krishna's abode. That will work. So it may be a little painful, but see, one thing is that susukam kartum bhavyam. It becomes a habit after a few days. In the beginning, when you are creating a habit, it's difficult. Getting a morning, best is to get up early morning and chant. Getting up in the morning and chanting or any part of the day, there's no taste in the beginning. But as you start chanting, it's like a jaundice. When you have a sugarcane juice in jaundice, that's the best cure. At the same time, sugarcane juice is the best cure. At the same time, what happens? There's no taste in the beginning, but after gradually as the taste develops within your system for the sugar, your jaundice is getting over, the sugarcane juice become nectar. That's an example given by Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Instruction, Upadeshamrita. As you start tasting Krishna consciousness, our disease gets over and Krishna consciousness becomes very wonderful. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. When one dies, for how many days does soul be present on earth?
As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, there is no discussion of that. Garuda Purana and all have some time, but not very important. Point is, the soul, if it go to the spiritual world, split second. So don't worry, the time is all the time there. And then if he has to go to hell, if he has to become dog or a cat, he has to first go to hell, where he will given no food except some bones. Or if he becoming a pig, he is to only given stool to eat. So he's trained in that, and then he is to given then his subtle body is trained first, and then he is given a gross body for that punishment. Correct? So life is tough. Don't plan material life. Why you're planning how many days? You chant Hare Krishna, go back to Krishna in a less than a second. Acharya Prabhupada says for a devotee, the death is like this. In fact, devotees, the great devotees are waiting to die. There is one very interesting story in this regard. Once a saint visited a palace. So he gave different benedictions to everybody. Everybody came to him for benediction. The first who came to him for benediction was the prince. So he said, Rajaputra, Rajaputra, Chiram Jiva. Then immediately another Muni's son came, was a great tapasvi. His son was doing, sincerely doing tapasya. He came. He said, Muni Putra, Ma Jiva. And after that, one Kasai was there, just come to visit the king, a butcher. He came to him, give me blessing. He says, Ma Jiva, Ma Mara. Then after that, another saint was there, Rajguru of the king, who was also a great saint. He also came for blessings. He said, Jivova Morova. And then he walked away. So the king became totally confused. What are the different benedictions he has given? So that benediction meaning was, Prince, Prince he will have many girlfriends, he's enjoying. He said, you don't die because your death, after death is severe punishment waiting for you for all what you're doing. Then for the Muni Putra is doing so much tapasya. Why so much struggle? You are fit now, go back to God's kingdom. Don't live now, don't live. The Majiva, don't live. For the prince, he said, Chiram Jiva, you keep living now, for now. And then Kasai, he says, Majiva, you don't live, you don't die. If you live more, you're doing more sin. And if you die, I can see only horror for you. Yamaloka is waiting for you. Then the another saint, he said, Jivo Vamorava, you live or you die, it does not matter. For you, both is auspicious. So, which benediction you want? Jivo Vamorova, that's the highest. Great acharyas, hardly matters they live or they die. They're living, they serve the Lord, and they die, they go to this. Like death of those is like lightning comes, big thunder, boom! You've seen the thunder when lightning is there, rain time. Oh my God, things of pralaya is happening, all buildings will break. And then light. So Prabhupada said death is like that. It's a severe pain. That pain you cannot avoid. But then bright light. Spiritual world, you see the spiritual world and live forever with the Lord. Little tapasya is needed, that's all. Chanting 16 noun is not a big price to pay to solve the problem eternally. More than that price you're paying to become a doctor or an engineer, much more than that. But this is the much better thing. And as you're chanting Hare Krishna, Susukam Kartumaya, it's very joyfully performed. You're feeling very happy. Okay. Hare Krishna Mataji, any other question? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, there are a lot of questions and a lot of people raising hands. Niharika Mataji, please go ahead and ask your question.
Actually, I also had this question that she asked that is everything predestined? So
What is that?
now, is everything predestined?
That's what I'm telling you. It's a combination. The major events in life, how much duration of the life is there, these are all fixed. But details, we can play around with the details. And always one thing you remember, karma is not eternal. No astrologer, good astrologer, will see the hand of a devotee. For a devotee, a dam is put. Just like the day you start sincerely chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Like that 2 hours if you do every day, Acharya direction. Now you're taking shelter of the Acharya, dam is put. Krishna puts a dam. Karma doesn't come to you directly. Krishna is in control now. You get a special protection. Laws of karma are protecting you, but special protection you get now. Now, only if there is a need to make you serious, some karma may be allowed. Otherwise, normal karma will not hit him. So you want special protection. You get special protection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. How can we prevent depression and stress? What do you recommend if someone is suffering from depression?
Stop thinking about yourself. Start working on something good, positive. They are seen so many drug addicts in one country. Most of the world, the depressed people get into drugs and some substance. And what a society does, they make their life more miserable. They put a label on them, drug addict. They sometimes arrest them, correct? Some country they put into jail also. That doesn't help the situation. Best is to give them some positive, good engagement. So keep yourself into some good engagement. 4 things you can do if you want to come out of depression. Number 1, have a good sadhana. No compromise. Number 2, be absorbed in your work. Number 3, have good relations with people. And number 4, have a good challenge every day to fulfill. Everybody is depressed. Be realistic. Don't think only one person is stressed. Everybody is sad in this world. This world is dukkhalayam shashvatam. But you can take these steps, you will come out of depression. You think anybody is happy in this world? No, everybody is depressed. This is a place for depression. At least he's agreeing he's depressed. Other people say, how are you? I'm fine. He's the one who is to be put in a mental asylum. Everybody is sad here. How can you say somebody is fine? Okay, so what the steps they take? Shelter of the sadhana means chant the holy names of the Lord attentively. The source of all happiness is Krishna. So depression and counter is Krishna. So let him chant the holy name of the Lord. Let him have Krishna Prasadam. Let him have some engagement whole day, busy engagement, no free time. And finally have some challenge to fulfill every day. He will gradually come out of this, depression.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Usha Mataji, please ask your question.
See, very interesting. Jyoti Priya said she went to the astrologer. He saw the tilak. He said, sorry, I cannot. No good astrologer will do that. He said, I'm sorry. Because when you do kirtan karte na, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, taliyan, ye finger, line badal jate. All the karma is like the crow sitting on a tree. आप पेड़ के नीचे ताली बजाओ क्या होगा? सारे कौवे उड़ जाते हैं. ये सारे कर्म उड़ जाते हैं. When you say chant Hare Krishna and feel the pleasure in that, कितना कर्म जाता है पता है? एक पहाड़ के जैसा इतना बड़ा कर्म जला जाता है. इतना बड़ा पहाड़ी जल जाता है. कर्मों का पहाड़ जल जाता है.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
When one is given general anesthesia, one loses consciousness. That means no touch or any other sensation. That means consciousness is gone. What happens to the soul?
No. Soul is there. Nothing is happening to the soul. The deep sleep is there, no? No, we have something similar experience with deep sleep. Every time you're sleeping, there is a rapid eye movement. And then after that, RIM ke baad, deep sleep, where you're in another world. There is, you're not connected to the body, you're not connected to the mind. Okay? Somehow biologically, so all we do is we feel very proud. We're just biologically disconnecting mind from the body. That's all.
So does soul observe the procedure, and does soul characters has anything to have any influence on the process of anesthesia or operation?
See, the soul can have various stages of consciousness. Soul is sometimes connected to the soul is its own existing, okay, independently existing. Not the soul needs the body, soul does not need mind also. So now you see nothing is happening to soul. When a soul is connected to the body and mind, that's called Jagriti. When soul is connected to the Lord, it is called Turiya. The soul is only connected to the mind, it is called Swapna. And soul is connected to the nothing, that is deep sleep. Now, I had an operation, I remember, some 6-7 years ago, hernia operation. At that time, I do remember when I was in like a dream, when the whole operation is going on, like all experiences, some kind of a dream. And I woke up with intense pain. Whatever they do procedure. Then the doctor wanted to give some injection. I said, don't give me injection. I don't like injections. I still remember. That's, so what do you say now? You analyze. Soul, nothing. Your anesthesia cannot touch the soul. So anesthesia only acts on the body. It cannot even touch the mind. It can only work on the brain and try to make the sensation numb. Correct? That's all it does. No? You cannot reach with the anesthesia, neither the mind. Forget the soul. Soul is much beyond.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
This much I know. Now you are saying, does the soul have any involvement in the operation? No, it's disconnected from the body at that time. Generally in Ayurveda, now coming more, I'll give you a larger perspective. The surgery is called in Ayurveda as Rakshasi treatment. They don't like all this. Ayurveda, Devic treatment means honey, ghee, and trying to solve the situation without such kind of intervention. Cutting, cut. Even that some of the Ayurvedic people who have said no, they were all on the tamasic treatment, not sattvic. Sattvic treatment means no cutting. And modern doctors look like vampires. Pehle jao khoon. Arey baba, dukka khoon pina hai already. They need blood. Ayurvedic doctor, now it's Ayurvedic science is not so much alive, but they will not do this. They will touch your pulse and they'll tell you what you are having. You say yes. Then you will start the medication. No blood. Without blood, it does the job.
Okay, so what I see is that whether devotee or not, whatever happens to the body, a soul has nothing to do whether it is a devotee soul or a non-devotee soul. It will have no bearing or influence on the
operation.
Yes, process.
Yeah, it's a material body. No? It's just like a shirt. Mere kurte mein you are stitching. What it has to do with the body is independent of the body. Just stitching a kurta.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhuji.
But it's true. Generally, a devotee, if he's following rules and regulations, he will be less sick. Sickness reduced. Because once you are happy spiritually, real happiness is spiritual. Once you're happy spiritually, then what happens? You will not have. You're getting the second stage. Your diseases reduce. Because most of the diseases also arise from the mind. A sad mind, depressed mind can also lead to many diseases today, isn't it? They are led from the subtle mind. We agree or not? Correct? So many diseases have origin in some sadness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Why is it that sometimes when we meet some people or see some scene, we feel that we have seen this situation before subconsciously?
I also felt it. Yeah, you might have come to the same city, same place. It feels like that. Now I'm entering there and this has happened various times. You felt like that? I felt many times. This is going to happen one more time now. Some memories are there. See, mind is storehouse of memories. So much is lying in the brain. And sometimes just like a bubble, when an ocean comes from somewhere nobody knows. Similarly, when desire erupts, some life a desire erupts. And you have to be therefore careful. Therefore, when you attentively chant the Nama, see, today you are handling some desire and we can be called a gentleman. We don't know what all desires are lying in the heart. Therefore, when you attentively chant the Nama, it burns even those desires which you don't even experience. Because you don't know what you do when those desires come. Just like so many people do very horrible crime. It's just because of desires. But these desires can all be burnt even to the root core of the heart. Therefore, Bhagavatam is called Tapatre Unmulun. From the root, it throws all the problems out.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's 5 o'clock. Do you want me to continue with questions and raise hands?
Mr. K.K. Mukherjee, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mukherjee ji. I'll end with you, Mukherjee.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Mukherjee ji, Wednesday will be a good
I
idea.
wanted to get back to that position.
Hare Krishna.
Very good, very good. It is okay for you. I'm sitting at home only. I'm attending your 6 o'clock class. I'm attending your 7 o'clock class. Now I have an opportunity to attend 3 o'clock class. So attend.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so
Chalo.
actually I
So
wanted
next
to
week, Wednesday, we will do techniques of mind control. Okay? Everybody, 27 techniques of mind control. Okay? Wednesday serial rakhenge. Okay?
I only want to tell you about the reincarnation.
What your friend has a...
My mother is to tell me, my mother is to tell me that I am the reincarnation of my grandfather.
Possible.
Many ways, I had several habits which are batching with my grandfather, it seems. And things like, my brothers, we had 5 brothers. Nobody is to even dare to come talk to my father like keeping the head high. So I was the only person, he was a very heavy smoker. I used to tell, Daddy, Baba, why don't you stop smoking? In Bengali, of course. Then see, mother, he used to tell the mother, see, he's firing me. So, and that is all mother is to say that his father has come back in this form.
Yeah, possible. Because you are
Like
so
that,
attached to the house. You build a big apartment. No, you build a big apartment. In the same house, you come as a cat because you're so attached. Possible. You are lucky came as a human being. You could have come to the same house like a cat.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hare Krishna.
In fact, even when my mother died, the priest woman told me that Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, meet you at 7.
Chalo, we will meet next week because see the admins and all 2 hours they spend. Everybody can. We will meet again, and I'll try to do better presentation next week. And this will be kind of a bridge class. So they're quite different from Gita classes, and it will help in our understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Vancha kalpada rubascha. You can all write mail to me. You all know my mail.
It was very good, actually.
Please, anybody has a feel free, or you can write mail to me. My mail ID is there with you, and I'll reply to you. Okay. Some of you are in the court.
2 mails.
Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpada Rupascha, Kripa Sindhiva Evacha, Patitana Pavanebhyo, Vaishnava Namo Namanand Koti Vaishnavindi ki Jai, Srila